I think a lot of us recycle our pain because we're activated with certain emotions and thoughts that are familiar to us. So it's not your fault, it's just what people do. And I'd like to say that most of those emotions and thoughts come from how we were introduced into this world, kind of like the movie The Matrix. What are you taught? Which parts of you were welcomed? Which parts of you did you have to suppress? How did you have to adapt? Because children are smart, to be accepted and feel safe and loved in your home. And which thoughts did you come up with because of your limited thinking as a child? For example, I once heard a woman at a big retreat say that she's always felt abandoned by her mom because when she was 5, her mom went out shopping and got a babysitter, and all the other kids were excited about the babysitter, but this little girl gave herself the meaning, Mom doesn't love me, and she just kept that in her. But other times, Mom really hurt you. She was depressed. She was unavailable. She criticized you. She didn't listen when you were in pain. So whether you caused it because of your limited thinking as a child or your parents caused it, the end result is that as much as people don't like to admit this and protect their parents, a lot of you guys are protecting your parents. That's what people do. If your parents weren't that bad, it's hard to see where they hurt you, but any kind of pain that we have or thoughts that aren't related to this moment are usually things carried over from when we were little and we were trying to make sense of the world. And then when we became adults, we didn't ever look at our thoughts or emotions because we didn't know where they came from. We didn't know how to change them. No one taught us. So we just often feel frustrated at our reactivity, helpless, attached to people who hurt us, having the same negative thoughts that keep causing us pain, like lying in bed at night worrying what you're going to say to someone or what you could have said different or how you're going to pay the bills. None of that is even helping, and it's not being in this moment. So that's what the first thing I wanted to point out is that I believe that the majority of our pain is self-inflicted because we are reliving emotions and thoughts of the past. How to break the cycle. Let's talk about how to break the cycle. On the level of emotion is to realize where that comes from. Something in your childhood that happened that gave you a strong emotional reaction that's still in you. And the way to be with that is to allow that and feel that in your body. That's what I help people on my coaching calls, but you can also do it yourself. I'm going to make a video. I'll make a video I'll see if I can have a client who will allow me to post a video, else I'll ask for permission to kind of redo one to show you what that looks like. And the second way is to break the cycle of negative thoughts. Your emotions are in your body, but emotions that you feel that are triggered by the world will activate certain thoughts, often negative thoughts. But also the mind is constantly going, and negative thoughts will activate emotions. So, we don't realize that we're recycling our own pain by reliving these thoughts and these emotions that don't serve us. How to break the cycle of negative thoughts is to be willing to stop thinking. Now, that sounds scary, doesn't it? If I tell you to stop thinking for 5 seconds, I want you to stop thinking for 5 seconds. I want you to notice what fear comes up in you. The fear, who am I if I'm not thinking? I I feel like I'm dead. I feel like I'm dead. Who am I without my thoughts? Who am I? It's kind of, if you can think about when you go to sleep, you have to be willing to stop thinking to go to sleep. I think that's why often people have to be so tired out of it, because falling asleep is a decision to stop thinking and identifying with the ego and with the stories and with the thoughts. But I do have an easier way for you to stop thinking. But I wanted to challenge you because I want you to see how attached you are to your thoughts. But you're not your thoughts. Start to think, well, who is the person who is having these thoughts? Who is having these thoughts? Now here's a simple technique for dealing with your thoughts is I'd like you to feel your middle finger on your right hand. Just feel it. There's no right or wrong. It doesn't have to be a strong sensation. Just bring your awareness to the middle finger of your right hand. And now bring your awareness to the pinky on your right hand. Just notice it's there. Feel the tip. Now feel your nose. Just notice it's there. Notice you're hearing my voice. Just noticing it going in. Just hear that voice is there. And now feel your left foot, big toe. Notice your left foot, big toe. And notice your breathing. Just notice the air going in or out. That's it. Okay, so if you did all that, you disrupted your thinking, at least for a moment. Other ways to disrupt thinking is to do breathing exercises, to meditate, for a lot of people, exercise without music. You're just feeling your body and your muscles working. I think for a lot of people, sex also can be a way to get present, disrupt thinking, because these are intense physical experiences where you're focused on your body and you get out of that chain of thinking, because the mind wants to think. It wants to constantly think. You can tell yourself stop thinking, and you can also start to choose on the level of emotions and thoughts how you do want to feel. Because if you stop these negative thoughts, what thoughts do you want to have in their place? Say that you're always feeling sorry for yourself. You're such a victim. If you can stop letting go of the victim identity, and you can even form a new identity and form new thoughts. Like, I'm a powerful person who can make things happen. My life just keeps getting better from here, and start believing that and telling yourself a new story. You have to be in enough pain to be willing to let go of the old story. On the level of emotions, maybe you've always felt pain. Well, what do you want to feel instead? Do you want to feel joy? Start feeling joy. It's about disrupting the pain patterns by establishing new patterns. It's about waking up parts of you that have been dormant, because in your childhood you activate certain neurons in your brain. You activated the neurons that taught you how to speak a certain language, or then later on you activated the parts of your brain that learned how to drive, or that learned how to read a book, or that learned how to work an app on a phone, where our brain is constantly learning and generating and pruning itself. It's called neuroplasticity. And so you can, in my Pilates, I'm constantly having to activate new muscles that have been dormant. That's how I healed my hip flexor pain. I'm constantly having to activate new muscles. When I activate new muscles, they hurt at first. It's uncomfortable. And that's the same way with you activating new thoughts and new emotions. You have to activate them. And I'm coaching you the same way my trainers coach me, is to activate these parts of you that have been asleep. It will feel uncomfortable, especially if you're doing things like giving people boundaries, expressing yourself, having new feelings and new thoughts. but it will be a better, stronger, more powerful version of you. And if that's what you want, that's the work you have to do. That's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. And let me just share with you, I am out in nature. It's March 31st. If you want free coaching, today is the last day that I'm taking clients for free coaching. And I think I might do, I'm going to do either 2 to 4 sessions with people, depending on how severe your situation is. I think people need a lot more support than I was thinking initially with just doing the one. A lot of people are going to need more than one, because after the first session they start to feel really good, but then all the stuff comes up that we talked about and they need more support. There are other emotions under it, and then their thoughts, and I think I need to do 2 to 4 sessions with people. So again, thank you for watching my video. I'm SchahrzadMorgan, life coach.